Alright guys, so I mentioned this in the last two videos of my reaction to the drill instructor moments, like their motivation and against versus the recruit video. But I mentioned that I was gonna like explain my story and my journey through Marine Corps boot camp from beginning all the way to end, just like my journey as a Marine and what led me to it. But the thing is, I didn't want to put in the other video, so I decided to put it into just a video of itself. So welcome guys, and this is my journey through the Marines. So let's start all the way back to when I graduated high school. So I graduated from Folsom High School in Folsom, California on May 2016. And after I graduated, I didn't go straight to the Marines. I went to college first. So I went to Folsom Lake College, which is a community college, for about one semester. And during that time, I was just like training and like do my thing, because in high school, I'll admit, I didn't really exercise a lot in high school. I just like kept to myself and just like I mean, I really didn't do much. I was just that shy and just quiet kid. So I didn't like do anything. I didn't even work out. So I was really skinny, skinny, weak. Go ahead, use all the words you want to use to describe me. But during that time, at somewhere in November 2016, I started talking to Marine recruiters, and we started doing the paperwork and like them explaining like what to expect and what's gonna happen, and then I swore in to the United States Marine Corps at mid-December. There we go. Yeah, I remember. It was in mid-December 2016 where I swore into the United States Marines, and I shipped out to boot camp on February 6th, 2017. So I shipped out to MCRD, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, here in San Diego. Not here, but in San Diego, California. And for the next 13 weeks, I got tested all my limits, physical and mental. I got slaughtered and I did all that. I was never a guide or a squad leader. Like, I never had those kind of positions. I just like stayed under the radar and stayed out of sights of the drill instructors. So that way I would not get killed. It really tested my limits because I never been exposed to that kind of environment, like so much stress. And I remember still, we started off in a platoon. Actually, here, I was in Charlie Company, 1st Battalion, Charlie Company, and my platoon number was 1043. And we started off with like 70 something, I forgot, like 75 or 76 guys. But then after like the first 6 weeks, because that's where they really test you, the first 6 weeks, that's when we lost about like we lost about like 8 guys. And when I mean lose, some of them were sent home, but usually when something happens, like you didn't meet a physical requirement or you failed a test or something like that, they keep you there. They don't send you home. They keep you there, and they put you into the next training company that will be coming next. So I was in, like I said, Charlie Company. So the company in front of me was called Kilo Company, Kilo, Kilo Company, and the company behind me was Fox Company. So basically, if anyone failed, they'll be put into Fox Company when they get to that point of training. Let's see what else. And then we started picking up guys along the way, like the ones who did fail and who just like fell back, and our training company picks them up. And then time went by, we did our thing here and there, and then at the end of 13 weeks, on May 5th, 2017, I graduated and became a United States Marine. I was a contracted private first class, PFC, which is a E2, because I had college credits from high school, because I took college courses in high school, and because of my semester in college. So I had 15 units total, and I was contracted into becoming a private first class. So I started off at a higher rank compared to the other guys who started off as private. I went to MCT for about a month, and then after that, in June, mid-June, I shipped out to Richmond, Virginia for my job training. So my job, because I was a reservist, so there wasn't many options, was food service, 3381 food service. And I did 8 weeks of that training in Richmond, Virginia. And then I came back here home to Sacramento, California back in September. And I checked into my unit, who is located here. And I've been with these guys for ever since October 2017. So, excuse me. So as time went by and basically as a reservist, because for those who don't know what a reservist does, it's not like a full-time Marine. So think of it as like a part-time Marine, and you're just like training and working as a Marine one weekend a month. So it could be just a Saturday and Sunday, but sometimes it could be 3 days, like a Friday all the way to Sunday, or sometimes if we go out to the field, it could be longer, like 5 days or maybe even a week. So during that, and the thing is, people misunderstand thinking like the reserves is a lot easier, but it's actually a lot more difficult than it looks, because you're cramming about a month's work into just a few days. So it's like really fast paced. You're there at the unit really early and you're leaving really late. So that one weekend can really tear you apart. And what the mentality difficulty was, unfortunately, we had Marines that went UA, and what UA means is unauthorized absence. So for you guys that watch a lot of movies and don't know what that means, just think of it as AWOL, you know, like absence without leave. So think of that, just like, you know, desertion kind of. And the reason for that is because once we finish that weekend, we go back to our lives, like our civilian lives. So we could do whatever we want, like relax, go to school, go to college, or just work, and you're with your maybe friends, families, or significant other. But then, you know, that one weekend every month is just like creeping up on you, and there's just like moments where you don't want to go. Trust me, there's moments where I didn't want to go, or that one weekend like impeded my school schoolwork, because I needed that weekend to like maybe study or to do work, homework, because that upcoming Monday or Tuesday I had an exam. So I'm basically I'm like so fatigued out of my mind when I'm done that I don't want to like study on Sunday night, and then upcoming Monday I study for like about 30 minutes before the class begins, and then I'm just like hoping to God that I would pass this exam or test. So it's a lot more challenging than you think. And on top of that, if anything's due on Saturday and Sunday, you give letters called employment letters to the professors explaining your situation, like I can't turn this in, or I'll be out of contact because of this military. And most of the professors I met are really cooperative, and they understand, or they also have like children or family members that were veterans, or maybe they were veterans themselves. But I did have one professor back in community college, Folsom Lake College, who really did not understand, did not really work with me, so that he made it so difficult. And I'll admit, I did fail that course, but I took that course again, but with a different professor, and I passed. But there's just a lot of obstacles that are almost unavoidable, or it just depends on like who you're working with. But anyway, so down the road, and they did offer deployments back at the end of 2019. And when I mean at the end, somewhere in September. So like the second half of 2019, we were contacted individually by our command, like the higher ups, and asked like, would you be interested in doing deployments from this time to this time, or here and here. And also they give locations, like this one's gonna go to East Asia in Okinawa or mainland Japan. Or we had one, it's called a special MAGTF, which is like a special deployment to Honduras. And we had one that went to somewhere in Europe, I forgot where it was, but the one that I signed up for was the one in Honduras, because it's the only one that matches with my schedule. So the original idea was to do that deployment and take about a year off of school, and like when I come back, then continue school. But when 2020 happened, this thing called COVID, I'm sure you guys know what that is. COVID happened, and everything got canceled because of the travel ban. And so no one went on deployments, nothing. So I just kept going to school. And then after like doing everything in Folsom Lake College, I transferred to Sacramento State University here in Sacramento, California. And I'm still there actually right now. So originally I was a computer science major. And sure, the major was difficult because it's a STEM major, and there's a lot into it. But it was manageable at first. But the issues I had personally with that major was most of the professors, like they're not cooperative, or communication was low, or it's more of a self-taught class. Like they'll just say things here and there, just like meeting the curriculum and like criteria. And basically I'm going like, but I didn't learn, I don't understand. So basically I always had to like look up YouTube videos or anything on Google and like teach myself. So it was difficult. So eventually I switched majors from computer science to economics, which is what I am right now. And I've been doing pretty well in economics. There were some moments here and there, I'll admit, where I didn't do well. And now I'm on my last semester, spring 2024. And if everything goes right, then I'll be graduating this upcoming semester with a bachelor's degree in economics. Now, what's important about that is I started talking to the officer candidate, like recruiters. So what that is I'm trying to be an officer because right now I was enlisted for the last 6 years. Let me actually finish this up. So I'm sorry if I'm talking all over the place. I'm still learning, and I'm like not good at like being disorganized when it comes to like presenting. Because the thing about me was, like I said, I was I was very quiet, and like presenting in front of class or just like on camera, especially in Zoom meetings, was not it for me. And if it was as bad as it was a long time ago, I couldn't even do a YouTube channel, like talking on the camera and presenting myself on camera. I can't even do that. So it took a lot to like break out of my shell and like build that confidence. But anyways, so I did 6 years, not a single issue. Like I didn't do anything illegal or anything. And I got out of my reserve unit because I fulfilled my 6-year contract on February 2023. I got out as the rank of sergeant, which is E5. And during that time, I've been like talking to officer recruiters because I'm only enlisted. So what it means is like I'm gonna start off and try to promote as a higher rank, which is a second lieutenant. And I did all that, but the requirements is you have to get your bachelor's degree and complete OCS, which is Officer Candidate School, which is basically a boot camp for officers, but it's 10 weeks. So I did Officer Candidate School, OCS, back in summer 2022, and I got slaughtered. For 10 weeks straight. I felt like deja vu. This is another boot camp. I got killed. And they were a lot more strict, because in boot camp, if you fail, they just keep you there. But in Officer Candidate School, you fail, you get sent home. I was like, no wonder. So this is where all the funding goes. And I remember in my platoon, we started off with 47, and at the end of 10 weeks, there was only 28 of us. 3 of us got dropped because of medical reasons. One broke his foot, the other one broke his shin, and the other one, I think he like broke his ankle as well. And the thing is, they're gonna be in a cast, or like they're like so long in a cast that it's gonna take up most of the training time. So I was like, hey, just come back next summer or something like that, you know? So they got sent home. Most of the other guys just quit. Like they're like, I don't want to do this anymore, so I just want to go home. So that's how they weeded out who can make it and who couldn't. So I did complete that. So now all I have to do left is graduate college with the bachelor's degree, and I'll become an officer. And I was thinking about doing a vlog on that, just like doing the uniform and like showing the promotion and presentation just in general. So look forward to that video, guys. But right now, yeah, that is my journey from all the way to the graduation of high school till now. So that was the last 8 years of my life. Now for stories. So there are just 3 bootcamp stories that really stand out to me, that happened to me. And so 2 of them happened to me, but 1 of them happened to another guy, but it's stuck with me so far. So I'll go in chronological order. So in February is on the 3rd week of training. So I went to boot camp when I was 18 years old, because the thing is, I couldn't join or like do all the paperwork when I was 17, because when you do the paperwork at 17 years old, you need both parents to sign and consent. But the thing is, I only have my dad because personal reasons. My mom's not with me anymore, and I haven't seen or talked to her since because of there were personal reasons why. But anyways, on the 3rd week of training, I'm not joking, the day before I turned 19 years old, so February 23, because my birthday's on February 24, they sent me to dental. And what happened was they pulled out my wisdom teeth, but they only pulled out 3 out of 4 because they said that this one up here won't be an issue. So they pulled out 3 out of 4, and once they stitched it all up and everything, my face was a bit swollen. Like it was kind of like a square, because this over here like swole really badly because of all the Novocaine and just like pulling it out and all that crap. But when I went back to the squad bay, the drill instructors technically cannot mess with you if you're on light duty. That's what it is, light duty, or bed rest, which means like you're laying on the bed just like well, I can't say bed, on the rack, and just like resting up and recovering. So I was on bed rest for one day, that day where they pulled out my teeth, and I was on light duty for the next 5 training days, which means I could still like do everything, but when it comes to like IT or getting slaughtered physically, they cannot do that to me because of like medical reasons. But as you saw in the past few like videos where like the recruits always had to shout and respond, what happened was the swelling went down on the side of my face, and the drill instructors thought that I wasn't on light duty anymore, even though I had the chit for it. So they made me shout, but the thing is, I can only say it at a certain level of volume, because at the point I could feel like the stitches cut in my gums, like kind of like ripping, and it was a bit painful. But they didn't care, or they didn't know, I don't know. But they made me shout, and I said, "Aye, sir," at the top of my lungs, and the stitches just ripped and blood started coming out of my mouth. And then the drill instructor just went, "Oh shit, oh, all right, you're going back to dental." And then because of that, they stitched me back up, and I was on light duty for another 5 days. And then from that, ever since then, they just like left me alone. The drill instructors left me alone for those 5 days, because they're like, "Shit, man, dude. Oh, we weren't supposed to do that," and that caught them off guard. So after the 5 days, when they took the stitch, because the stitches like melted, it just dissolved. It wasn't like one of those threads where they had to take it out. It just dissolved on its own. And when I was back on full duty, then they're like, "Yeah, now we can kill him." Okay. The second story. We had a inspection, and basically, it was the company commander inspection, and as I mentioned, I spent time under the radar, like did not get in trouble, or just like stayed incognitos away from their like radar. And one time during the inspection, I did well, because I was inspected by the company commander, who was a captain. And after all that, but then the drill instructors are just like walking around making sure like everything's good, or like seeing like if they need to correct anything. But then I remember one drill instructor just walked by, and he said, looked at me and went, "Who are you?" and I told him, I was like, "Recruit Hong," because my last name is Hong. Recruit Hong. And he's like, "Since when have you been with us?" And then I said, since the beginning of first phase, sir." And then he just looked at me and went, "I never seen you." And then he called the other drill instructors, and they said the same thing. I was like, "Yeah, oh wait, I think I seen him once, but nah, man, I don't know who he is." So they thought I slipped into the platoon, and after that, I stayed on the radar for like the next few weeks until graduation. Like I was the center of their attention for them, like one of the main focuses, because they're like, "Yeah, you thought you could slip by? No, not anymore." And I got slaughtered. Oh my god. Good times. All right, the third and final story. So this one was not about me. This is something I saw at the end of rifle range. So we're about like 7 weeks into training, and I miscounted because there's 13 weeks. About 9 weeks into training, so we had 1 more month left until we can graduate as Marines. So we were out in the field, like in the rifle range, and we're outside the whole time. So we're sweating, we're dirty, we're all that. And I noticed that there was this one recruit, like another guy in my platoon. There was like white powder all over his forehead and like around his neck and things like that. So all of us were just looking at him because we didn't know what happened. We're like, "What is wrong with him?" And then 2 drill instructors came to him and it's like, "What is wrong with you?" And then he said, "What is that stuff?" And the recruit said, "Baby powder, sir." And then the drill instructors were taken back. They're like, "Why do you have baby powder all over your forehead and your neck?" And the recruit said, "This recruit did not want to sweat, sir." And then that's where we almost broke out laughing. Like we turned around, it just like turned our head because we didn't want to laugh, because if you laugh and lose your bearing, you will get killed by the instructors. But the instructors couldn't hold it back, so they even turned around laughing. But it was obvious they were laughing, but they didn't want us to see it. But the one who kept talking to him was on the brink of like smiling, but he kept his composure and kept talking. He's like, "Why the hell makes you no, what makes you think that putting baby powder is gonna solve that?" And then the whole time, and then as a punishment, they said, no, put more on. I think you missed a spot. So they made him put it all over his hair and all that. So every time we're walking or like marching somewhere, you just see this like pale figure in our formation, and we were just like laughing and dying, or we're like holding it in, trying like, just trying to like hold our laughters and trying not to smile, because that is the test of bearing. But either way, that was the 3 best stories I had in boot camp, and that was amazing. But wow. And now this is advice for anyone who's watching who plans on going to boot camp. What I recommend is oh, and this is for gonna be for OCS, but here, actually, you know what? I'm gonna split it. So for boot camp, I say was mentally tough, tougher than physical, because they're just on you and they're just trying to kill you, and like make you like quit or like break down your mind. So I say mentally prepare yourself. Like think it's all gonna be a test. It is gonna be stressful, but just keep pushing. And also physically prepare yourself for that, like running, core, and pull-ups. I say those are like the main 3 things to work on. So again, pull-ups, I was weak in pull-ups. I'm still am, but I'm still working on it. Core, because they do a lot of crunches and planks. So what I recommend is doing planks a lot, and run. Just go out there and run, both speed and endurance, because you're gonna be running miles and you're just gonna be running everywhere. That's a lot. And for OCS, I say it was more physically tough than mentally. I think it was physically tougher than mental for me, because since I went to boot camp, I already knew what to expect, so it didn't really like bother me. But physically, yeah, it did, because the PT, the physical training there was intense. Like we ran so much every single day. We kept on going up hills, we kept sprinting everywhere, we kept running everywhere, it was just not it. So cardio is very essential in OCS, so be ready to run. Physically, yes, there are a lot physically, but I say lower half the body is gonna be tested more than the upper half. Like, so make sure do not skip leg day, because you're gonna be carrying a lot of heavy packs. You're gonna be running and everything. So those of you who are planning to go to boot camp or OCS, that's my advice, because you're looking at someone who did both and still managed to pass. So if I can pass it, you guys are fine. Don't worry about it. It's basically how much work you guys are gonna put in and how much time you're gonna put in to like better yourselves and prepare. That's all up to you. But that is my advice. So, wow, I've been talking for, what is it? Oh wow, I've been talking for 23 minutes straight. Wow, that's crazy. I've never done that before. So anyways, so guys, that is my journey as a United States Marine, and right now my continued journey of what's gonna be happening to me in the future. So again, thank you guys for listening. I hope this helps you, and hope maybe my story entertained you as well. If not, I'm sorry. But I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and keep an eye out for more content, and also check out my other videos I have on my channel. And if you guys have any suggestions of like what I should watch, or if you have any questions about bootcamp or OCS, put it down in the comments below. I'll take a look at them and try to help you as best I can. Don't expect like the best advice, because like I said, I wasn't the best recruit or officer candidate. So maybe sometimes it's best to like search it. But if you want to hear my experiences or like what got me through, put it down in the comment and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. But anyways, that's all for now. And also thank you guys for your continued support in this channel, and I hope you guys are having an amazing day or night wherever you guys are, and I'll see you guys next time.